Here we go. Boop. All right, let's put on my wrist brace. Not much of a wrist brace anymore, but it gives me a little bit of support. It's like, so they changed the manufacturing on it, so this piece right here is different than this piece. So this is compression fabric, this is not really. This is different. Whereas the new one right here, it is all the same fabric, and it just is not as comfortable. And it just, I don't know, they switched something. They obviously, it's double-sided. The original is not, so I might buy another one and see if they went back, if they got, you know, any feedback, because I think I remember seeing new or more recent feedback on the Amazon page that was like to the not too happy tune. All right, so today, just going to be a little bit of a, is my mic on? Okay, good. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today. I'm just going to probably get this mapped out and initially sketched. So, what I've got is this is a post that I pulled actually from one of my idea files, and I really like it. I wrote it a little bit less than a year ago. I just have to figure out how I want to divide this up. I wonder if this will be a good 3-2-1. One thing flew snow well is the power of little bits. Small steps add up to great distances. One falling leaf after another can be gathered into a big pile. Keep going, even if all you felt you did today was a little bit. Those little bits count too. So that is what I'm going on here. Let me do an experiment. I have not, this is completely, I have mapped nothing out. And I'm just kind of rolling with it here. And I've got to divide the beats of this up. Oh, these are really small. All right, let's actually get a proper, there we go. There we go, here we go. We've got a proper view on my canvas now. And boop, and that needs to be bigger. So if I do 3, 2, 1, that would be good, but let's give me a little bit more room to write. Hey Bacon, welcome. I'm glad you caught the stream. It's a little bit of a short one today, comics. I am doing animation. I've kind of transitioned Tuesdays over to just animation now because I'm trying to really work on it. So instead of the random potluck stream, they're all animation streams on Tuesdays now. So I'm not sure if next week I'll be tackling another. I really just wanted to tackle kind of a big thing for me, which was the walk cycle. And I feel like I might have to do a walk cycle part 2 because I feel like it was very rudimentary and I could have pushed further to make it smoother and more, with more flavor. Maybe. Is flavor the right word? I guess. So I maybe do another walk cycle or just sort of a general action, maybe a floof getting up and then walking off the screen and walking back. Something simple, and I know I eventually want to, and I think this will be next week too, have better planning, because what what I think was a failing of last week was that I did not color in my original walk cycle set. And that would have saved me so much time, because I had to go back at the end because I decided to add a background in and, you know, have the floof walking, you know, in and out of this background element. I had to go into each of those frames and color in parts of it. So if I had done that at the beginning and just, you know, completed those 4 sets that I had used and duplicated across and then used perform mode, which saves a ton of time. I didn't have to actually draw all of that stuff. So, hey Chris, welcome to the stream. Hey Dee, well, thank you guys so much for joining. You'll get it. Just, yeah, no, and I think it probably took me struggling through that and figuring out, you know, how to do it first of all, to figure out, hey, you can do this better next time. So if you actually want to just, because I got the idea from, I watched an Aaron Blaise animated animation kind of Procreate Dreams short. It was, he was talking about just some of the kind of quick tips and basic shortcuts. And the one that he was going over was he had animated this bear's walk cycle. And he used that walk cycle and just replicated it over the time. And then he used perform mode to make the bear walk across the screen. And so that's pretty much what I was going for and trying for. I struggle with performance mode, but I'll get it. I just need to work with it and figure it out a little bit more. But I'm happy you're here, Dee. I know you probably can't see this, so I'll blow this up. Actually, let's cut this one thing. No, well, I think I'll cut that there and just make this so it's legible. Enter. And let's delete whatever that little ruler is. All right, so here is the text for this comic. I really like this one. I had totally forgotten about it until I opened up my idea folder, and I wrote this. This is one of the late night idea stream things. And because I can look at the file and see, like, when did I write this? It was like 9 p.m. on a June evening or whatever. So one thing floofs know well is the power of little bits. Small steps add up to great distances. One falling leaf after another can be gathered into a big pile. Keep going, even if all you felt you did today was a little bit. Those little bits count too. I was going to mention there's another program called Moho. It's in animation software as well. Looking at it, I feel like it would work well for you. You can use your... Ooh, that's nice. I'll definitely... Moho. All right. I wrote it down. Animation takes time, creativity. Yes, very much so. Very much so. And I got out my book... what's his name? Richard Williams Animator Survival Kit, and that helped too because I could see the breakdowns, but it's just kind of thinking of the examples are all of a human walking, so you see the skeletal structure and everything, and I'm just like, okay, a floof is like a big sack of flour. They don't really have knees. They don't really, so I have to kind of figure out how a sack of flour would walk, and you know. It reminds me, I was watching, this is a long time ago, it was a making of piece from Aladdin, and they talked about how they animated the magic carpet, and they talked about how they kind of modeled it after a sack of flour, kind of the weight of it. So you can kind of, once you know that, if you look back at the animation of the magic carpet, you can really kind of see the sack of flour. And how, you know, like when he's sad and he lumps over, you can kind of see that's how a flour sack would kind of lump over and kind of the gesture of it. So I feel like there's a little bit of that in the floofs, so I just kind of have to think along those lines. Okay, I wonder here. I wonder. Come on. Oops. All right, this is how I think I'm going to divide this up. I like this breakdown, but it's going to be a little loaded at the top. Wait, really? I can adjust. No, I need to take this out actually. Let's get this all out of this X. And I need to put you on a forward. And may as well write the title. And there we go. And be a little bit loaded at the top, I already can tell. You know, if I keep both of these lines in 2 sets, that's not as bad as it could be. And let's center these. So what are they doing? Okay, hold on a second. Actually, let's rewind. What did Willy Wonka say? Strike that, reverse it. Need that to be just a wee bit smaller. Because we are having a big text day today. And now that I'm looking at this, these guys need a little bit more room to breathe. There we go. And, all right, so that's good. That's actually not too bad. So I'm gonna go back in here and, oh, I gotta save. Saving's important. How's the cold weather treat? It's cold. I'm not used to this. I was like, I brought out my heater. I had put my heater away because, you know, silly me, I thought it was actually gonna stay warm. No. It got to like, it was like 30 something. It was like in under freezing. It was below 32. And it felt like it. Yesterday it you know, they kept on saying that, oh, we're going to get back up towards the 50s, and no, it didn't even get close. I think yesterday it didn't get like out of the 30s here. It was just that I feel like sometimes when it's like colder than like right at freezing, especially if it's raining, I feel like that cold just goes right through you, and it feels almost colder than, you know, like 20 degrees or whatever. But I don't know, maybe it's just that at colder temperatures you definitely layer more, and I don't know. But at that range where it's kind of bouncing around in the 30s and 40s, you can kind of get away with short sleeves, or you can kind of get away with one layer, and then it just gets cold and uncomfortable. I don't know. I think the long and the short of it is that I've forgotten how to dress for cold weather. All right, but it should actually warm up. I think there's a possibility of it warming up tomorrow a little bit so that stuff can get unwrapped. Definitely maybe Saturday. Well, 30 is the low tomorrow, so 26 was the low. I guess that was this morning. Saturday, Sunday, rainy, high 48, high 57. So it'll warm up a little. Yeah, it's going to definitely warm. It's going to be beautiful next week. 70s-ish, lows in the 50s and 40s. It's a little bit of a cold burst, but it should clear itself out. Walking around a Star Wars robe. That's it. Yeah, that's it right there. All right, let me see here. I know this one I want to have the pile of leaves, and I want to have this one jumping. Adding leaves to it. I know I want that. And I think walking. Simple walking. Maybe some nice little something here. There's that one. Where do I start this? I kind of feel I want to change count to add up. Those little bits add up. Or accumulate. Or will accumulate. Or will add up. I want to keep the language simpler, maybe will add up. I like accumulate though, that's nice. Thinking getting the hang of drawing grass now. I've been doing a lot more sketches of grassy areas with houses. Oh, nice. Very cool. Yeah, grass is kind of just have to get your feel of it and kind of discover what you like. And I struggle when I have a character kind of laying in the middle of a bunch of grass. So I have to, I can't avoid, and I can only use the power of suggestion so much in that, because you actually have to show that he is laying in this grass. So it's, because I use suggestion a lot in my landscapes with just like a couple little bumps or a couple little, you know, ziggy zaggies. And, you know, just enough to let the reader know this is where they are, and you can fill in the rest. But, you know, in close-up detailed shots like that, you really can't fall back on that. So I remember that there were a couple of really good sections on that in the how to draw books, because he goes over, I don't know if you're familiar with these books, but let me grab them. How to Think When You Draw. I love this series, and I think the next Kickstarter is going to be in March actually, but each comes with an updated little booklet on where you can find each of the topics. Like brass is basic and fields, volume 1 and volume 3, then ground terrain. But yeah, and then you go in and, you know, like this is small explosions, and he gives you little tips on how to think your way around those problems. And I love the approach in this. But yeah, if you really, and actually all of these tutorials are available for free online too. They have it on their the blog. It's the Etherington Brothers. I want to say it's Blogspot, but if you just look up How to Think When You Draw, you'll come on to their stuff pretty quickly. They also post the tutorials on Twitter. I just like having the physical book so I could just look through and kind of get inspired there. I think I'm going to make a call back to it was like I forget what the title is, but this little floof is making a piece of art, and he decides like maybe I should share it, and he decides to, and he puts it up over here. So maybe little floof is going to be looking at a gallery of his little paintings, you know, that he's kind of posted on these trees, and they're all and then I'll put like little jars, something's here. I think that'll be a good callback, because you can see that it'll be like a continuation, but not really. On second thought, I don't believe I need. Let me just, okay, I'm gonna, hold on just a second. I'm going to revise. I'm gonna revise, because I think I can get away with just these two. Blow them up like that. Brevity, right? Don't add 2 where 1 will do. The nice little, it's almost square. All right, so now I want to decide those little bits. Okay, hold on. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna have to capitalize. Great. Not great, Gerg. There we go. I like that. All right, we hashed that out, except for the first. Okay, I still need to. Still need to figure out. Okay, so, all right, I think what this will be is, one thing Floofs know well is the power of little bits. So they have two small piles here instead, and maybe one greater pile is here. So they take the great big pile, and I'll say these are like nuts or walnuts or something, and they'll crack. So they're shelling these little nuts. Small steps add up to great distances. One falling leaf after another can be gathered into a big pile. Keep going even if all you felt you did today was a little bit. Those little bits will add up to something great. So what I need to do here is I need to give these guys a little more room to breathe. Go. All right, save. So now let's go in here on this layer, and I've got to group and mark these guys down. Group. I'm just going to go ahead and make them all. And I actually think all I'm going to get is maybe one, because I have to end at 1:30. One frame sketched, or rather lined. But this is good though, all the setup, and this will actually go pretty Hold D, and now we're going to select, I'm going to group and make sure I'm centered because things can always go wrong with that. And now we're going to grab these two, we're going to scooch down here, and we're going to whoop. And I'm going to group, and I'm going to center, and I'm going to ungroup. It was actually really good. I got made some awesome connections, and actually be in box lunch this summer, and that was a connection I made at San Diego. So that's really exciting. If you're not familiar with box lunch, it's kind of like the family friendly. Okay, you know. Because the sister company is Hot Topic, and Hot Topic definitely has a vibe, and Box Lunch is a little bit more like Studio Ghibli, pop culture, family-friendly Disney than, you know, Hot Topic is you know, Hot Topic. So, but yeah, starting out with a couple of pins, and hopefully if those go well, I'll get some other things into there. So that's super exciting. We actually got confirmation on that this week with the orders going in. So I'm going to start hyping that up in March because the first set is going to drop in May, and then the second set is going to drop in July. So fingers crossed it goes well. Yeah, so that was something that really went well at San Diego. Also, the new booth upgrades, like the standees that I did and put on top of the shelving, those went super well, and really kind of gave a little polish to the booth and the look. And so much so that, you know, I feel like I get these comments every year, like, why have I never seen you, and, you know, is this your first year, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, we've been here since 2008. But I think, you know, improving a little bit every year, it's finally largely visible, I think. And but yeah, so got a lot of great feedback on that, and it's always fun to go out there. I discovered a new taco place that was really good, and it was kind of off the beaten path, so you didn't have to wait like an hour to get into the store, get into the place. A lot of the restaurants around the convention center, they've got like an hour-ish or longer wait, especially after the doors close, so it can be a little dicey getting food after the long day. That one was quite nice. Yeah, I definitely will know. I'll announce, and I have a sample of 2 of the items, so I'll be able to at least do a couple of kind of product shots, and I've got to get together and see, you know, what they do and don't want me to do. I mean, do I want to keep it a surprise, you know, right up until the launch, or, you know, that type of deal. But no, it's really exciting. And let me see, as far as products go, I always do like little changes on certain things. Like a couple years back, I did a major change on how I display pins, and that resulted in literally like a double increase in the sales. And then I did another little change, and same result for the stickers. That just, you know, all of a sudden, you know, I had, you know, double the amount, and it really simple little things. And because I used to set out the retail for with more compact and just cramming as much as I can with that in mind. So I had this rotating display, and on the bottom I'd have the pins, and on the top I'd have the stickers. And I didn't really realize that you couldn't, you know, the amount of people that actually spin those things around, that's rather few. And so you're only showing half of your inventory, and so you're getting half the sales. And when I laid the pins out in kind of small boxes and just kind of flat on the tabletop, it looks a lot more visually substantive, and also people will pick through and actually buy more. So I did the same thing with the stickers. I took them off the spinner and put them vertically facing up. And my first iteration of that was not as successful because the stickers would fall over, so it was kind of clunky. My second version of that had like a little guardrail, and it made reaching in so much easier. Amazon imposing a 100-hour VOD limit on Twitch. Any more is deleted. So if you have 100 hours, so it's like, well, who would do a 100-hour single stream? I guess there are some people that do. Yes, actually I do. If you go to becute.com right there, I have a shop, and I sell, actually, what do I have within reach? I have these plushies, and I also have floof. Thank you so much, Chris. I have books as well. I have all of these guys. Whoop. And I do have some duplicates in here because these are my editing copies. You can kind of see, got my little thingies here. But I have 5 volumes of my comic, and then I have 1 pug anthology, and then I have art books and sketchbooks and a couple of children's books as well. And I also have floofs. I don't have a floof. Let me scoot over here and show a floof. I have this guy. Boop. And he's very round and squishy. And this is Adventure Floof, so he has a little leaf. It's not a little leaf. He used to have a little leaf, but then I found a bigger fake leaf to give him. So that's my Adventure Floof. He goes everywhere. Plushie name is, that one is a Floof, and the other one is Pudge the Pug. So I guess on the VOD limit thing, they're going to start erasing, like, I don't know how many I have actually saved up. Go over here and let me just link you directly to the floof. Jeez. There's the link right there for that floof plushie. And I also have a Gentle Smile floof. He's got a little bit more of a reserved expression. This one is quite excited. But yeah, this one is the most popular of them. I'm actually down to 1 box left of my Big Mouth floof. So. Actually, I'm gonna have to end the stream here. It's a shorter stream today. I just saw I might have to snag the evil landlord. Yeah, she's a sweetie. She's a good one. I've got to do I actually had a sketch out for an Evil Landlord comic. I've got to give more screen time to the other characters, because it's always like Floof and Coconut and Momochi and Tuxie, EL, and Happy have gotten a little bit less screen time, so I've got to write and map out some more for them. And I do have a good one for EL. I just haven't done it yet. You know, I don't know. It's really weird. I actually can't send stuffies to Australia because that is a, I guess that's a verboten. You can't, I guess, import stuffed animals, because I actually had someone that was messaging about that. They really wanted a Floof, but the regulations and the border of Australia, they just don't, for some reason, plushies are a no. So, but she got books though, which is really cool. So there's some books over in Australia. At Momo, yeah, Momo is, I actually found one left when I was in storage, but she's got a, it's not a, it's like a stain, but it's weird because there's, I mean, I'm guessing it was fabric that was stained when she was put together originally, when the fabric was dyed. But we're thinking about doing a reprint of Momo, but she'd be holding a strawberry, maybe. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, no, actually I work for myself. I don't work for a studio. I am the... creative director, art director, everything for Be Cute, and also do freelance stuff. So let me go ahead and put up my ending screen here. There we go. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry for the little bit of a short stream today. I will be back on Tuesday, and we'll be doing animation and Procreate Dreams on Tuesday. And if you want to see more comic making, be sure to tune in again on next Thursday. Every Thursday is a comic day. And this one I'll finish tonight, and it'll be posted on bcute.com, as well as all my social media, as tomorrow's comic post. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Bacon, Chris, Yadav, D, if you're still in here, all of my lurkers. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Yeah, I'll check out Moho too. Definitely am interested in any other animation programs. I'm really enjoying Procreate Dreams, though. I'm starting to kind of get the hang of things, except for performance mode. I'll eventually get that though, but it's really exciting to see things start to move. But yeah, thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you next time.